welcome to AstroBabushka, and this is the video about Saturn transiting Pisces for the next 2.5 years for Earth signs, Earth rising signs, which are rising Virgo, rising Taurus, and rising Capricorn. If you're interested, please keep watching.
Stars align and planets glow, mystic secrets will.
So for rising Taurus rising, the last Saturn transit in Aquarius, Sidereal zodiac, was in the 10th house from January 2023 to March 2025. You face serious pressure in career, public image, and responsibilities. Saturn demanded discipline, structure, and long-term thinking. No shortcuts were allowed. You may have experienced delays, authority clashes, or extra workload in your profession. Some faced job changes, promotions with heavy responsibilities, or a test of leadership. Public reputation was under scrutiny. If your foundation was weak, Saturn exposed it. But if you worked hard, you likely laid the groundwork for lasting success. Now, Saturn for the next 2.5 years will be transiting your 11th house. The 11th house is what we receive from the world: income, rewards, recognition, support, networks. With Saturn here, the flow of gains slows down to test your long-term strategy. You may feel an initial slowdown in income, business revenue, or payments, especially in the first half of the transit. Saturn pushes you to analyze your sources of income carefully. You might let go of ineffective money-making efforts and shift toward long-term Saturnian wealth building, such as investments or passive income. It is time to create a real structure around your finances, budgets, savings, learn the financial discipline. Your social circle is being restructured. The 11th house also rules friends, networks, alliances, and Saturn will filter your social circle, removing superficial or one-sided relationships. You may feel isolated or disappointed in people you once trusted, but it's clearing space for more stable, mature connections. It's also a time to redefine your role in communities and align personal goals with group missions. Saturn aspects to 1st, 5th, and 8th house bring some challenges. Saturn aspecting your 1st house, Lagna, you will feel more pressure on your identity and physical stamina. Saturn asks, are you being realistic about who you are and what you can handle? You may appear more serious or reserved to others, but it is a phase of personal strengthening. Saturn aspecting your 5th house, or creativity, children, romance, that can leave some feeling of emotionally dry or distant, and creative blocks may emerge. If you're raising children, increased responsibilities or worries are likely. Creative or speculative ventures need patience and planning, not impulsiveness. So don't invest all your money in one stock. So Saturn aspecting 8th house. 8th house, it's transformation, death, hidden issues, and Saturn forces you to face fears, secrets, and joint financial matters. Debt or taxes may require strict discipline and management. You may be pushed to emotionally mature through loss, trust issues, or psychological growth. For freelancers or someone who have their own business, you may feel pressure with payments, delayed cash flow, or client retention. So what should be the strategy here? Focus on past clients and loyal contacts, not chasing the new ones. Build a Saturnian financial buffer, a safety net that buys you time and peace of mind. Overall theme, Saturn in the 11th house is a reality check on rewards, friendships, and ambitions. It strips away the quick wins, leaving only what's stable, earned, and aligned with your long-term vision. Now, rising Virgo. For Virgo rising, the last Saturn transit in the 6th house, Aquarius, in Sidereal Astrology, was time for testing your endurance, work ethic, and ability to handle pressure. What likely happened? Let me guess. You were pushed to face and overcome challenges related to work, health, and daily responsibilities. Saturn in the 6th house often brings increased workload, tight deadlines, or workplace politics, but also the chance to master your craft. Health may have required more structure, possibly dealing with chronic fatigue, diet discipline, or stress management. You may have faced hidden enemies or competition, but with focus and patience, you likely gained more resilience and problem-solving strength. For some, debts or legal issues surfaced, but Saturn rewarded steady effort and ethical action. Saturn in the 7th house for Virgo rising from 2025 to 2027 will be transiting the 7th house, which is partnerships, marriage, business alliances, and how you relate to others. With Saturn here, you're entering a time of serious relationship evaluation. Rethinking relationships and commitments will arise. Saturn now brings tests of strength to existing partnerships, both personal and professional. It does not only cause problems, it helps you see what's real and what's worth keeping. If a relationship is weak, Saturn will expose the cracks. But if it's strong, this transit will make it more mature, stable, and long-lasting. Even if a breakup or separation happens, it will be a slow, thoughtful process, not impulsive. Saturn teaches you to choose stability over emotion. Now, boundaries, responsibility, realism. You may feel the need to redefine boundaries in your partnerships, especially if there's been emotional merging or blurred lines. This is a time to drop illusions about partner and face what's actually there. Fears around losing control in relationships or being too dependent may come up, but these fears help you grow. These fears especially will come up for people who have Virgo moon. You may go through hard times with someone, and it's those challenges that could deepen the bond or force clarity. Saturn will also influence 3rd, 7th, and 10th house from its position, and for you it is going to be the 1st house. Self-image will be under pressure. You may appear more serious, withdrawn, or cautious. Saturn pushes you to balance me with we. Saturn also aspecting your 4th house, which is home and inner life, and here emotional heaviness can come, or home-related responsibilities. It could bring relocation, property decisions, or strained family ties. You may long for emotional security, but have to earn it through inner work. Now, Saturn also aspecting your 9th house, which is beliefs, guidance, higher meaning, higher education. So here can be shifting faith, mentors, or life philosophy. Saturn challenges blind beliefs, asking for real world wisdom. You may pursue serious study or legal matters or a more disciplined spiritual practice. So overall thing, let's wrap it up. This transit is both a challenge and an opportunity, is always actually, to build relationships that are structured, mature, and real. Saturn removes the fantasy and gives you the tools to build something that lasts. Personally, professionally, emotionally, it's time to show up, commit, and grow. Next, rising Capricorn. For Capricorn rising, the last Saturn transit in the 2nd house in the sign of Aquarius in Sidereal Astrology was January 2023 to March 2025. What it was. You were tested in matters of money, savings, and family duties, possibly. Saturn demanded a disciplined, long-term approach to income, no quick fixes. You may have faced delays in payments, in increased financial burdens, or family obligations. Speech, communication may have become more serious or cautious, especially in public or with loved ones. By the way, 2nd house is also teeth, so maybe it was something regarding teeth fixing situation. If you work steadily, you likely build a stronger financial base and more mature relationship with money. Now, Capricorn rising will have Saturn transiting its your 3rd house, Pisces, in Sidereal Astrology. Saturn will be aspecting your 9th, 5th, 9th, and 12th houses, and it will all be happening till 2027. Now, the 3rd house is a domain of communication, skills, short travel, writing, entrepreneurship, siblings, neighbors, and your mental stamina. Since Saturn is also your Lagnesh, ruler of your ascendant, this becomes highly personal and purposeful transit. One that's meant to reshape how you think, speak, and act. What to expect during this transit? Your communication style will become more serious, focused, and intentional. You may feel mentally heavier or more responsible in how you express yourself. No more careless words. Superficial friendships and casual networking will be tested. Only loyal, respectful connections will stay. Relationships with siblings or colleagues or neighbors may feel tense or distant, forcing better boundaries and or clarity. Saturn here encourages deep thought, steady practice, and disciplined speech. It's a time for refining your voice, not broadcasting noise. Mental discipline and skill development can arise. It is a great time to learn complex skills, master a craft, or return to writing, teaching, coding, structured learning as well. Your hobbies may become sources of duty or income, requiring more commitment. Saturn brings the gift of mastery. Slowly, through multiple repetition, effort, and structure, and patience. Third house is also travel and daily action, and you may rethink how you travel or use time day to day, looking to cut waste and stay more focused and more efficient in whatever you're doing. Saturn slows down short trips, multitasking, social distractions to help you be more efficient and grounded and more focused on your mission or whatever you're doing with your life. So now let's see what else will be affected considering the transit's aspects. So 12th house, sleep, expenses, isolation. You will feel more withdrawn, private, or aware of hidden energy drains. It is perfect time to cut unproductive escapes, such as playing video games, for example, watching TVs, and focus on inner discipline. 9th house, affected by Saturn through the transit, and belief system will be tested for sure. You will have a lot of doubts. You may question your mentors, your gurus, your teachers in life. You may want to change life direction or turn toward practical spirituality. Travel or legal matters may slow down or require extra caution. Now, Saturn also affecting the 5th house, which is creativity, romance, and children. And creative expression may feel blocked or a little heavy, but Saturn wants you to refine, not rush. Responsibilities in parenting or romance may increase. And of course, patience is always a key. You may feel misunderstood or hesitant to express joy, but it's temporary and deeply maturing. Now, what difficulties you may face during this next 2 years? You may feel mentally blocked or misunderstood. It can be less mobility or spontaneity, increased responsibility in communication or social life. You need to watch your words. What are the opportunities? You can develop mastery in writing, speaking, or teaching. If you work hard, of course. Learn technical or strategic skills. Again, if you work hard. Build mental strength, clarity, discipline, all this Saturn loves. Remedies to strengthen Saturn in your chart is always structured. But in this case will be structured writing, journaling, maybe doing some breathing and focus exercises and practices. Try to limit distractions, create study or creative routines. Choose depth over speed in communication and learning. I know how hard it can be in our era with everything so fast. Overall, Saturn in the 3rd house is not here to silence you, it's here to refine your message. By the end of this transit, your thinking will be sharper, your words will be more powerful, and your vision more disciplined. So that's about it. And please like, subscribe, help me with my channel to grow on YouTube. AstroBabushka here, and yeah, I almost finished my mini course that will be the price of the coffee with a few hours of videos and PDF materials, and most likely I will publish it all soon in Patreon or another platform. I haven't decided it yet, but it's going to be all focused on you yourself reading your own chart. And there will be a 3 key to this, will be Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. How to read your chart using only these 3 points, and then slowly, if you're interested, you can add more layers to it. But this is basics, and I feel like everybody can do it for themselves because it's super easy and it's super interesting and introspective and reflective, and it's almost like you're working with psychotherapist during this work. You recognizes your weaknesses, your strengths, and you have something to work on. And you have all the cards on your hands, and you know how to play in life. Okay, all this information will be down in the description, and hope to see you soon. Bye.